Hey guys, so I got a few requests to do a comparison here between the OnePlus 3T and the HTC 10 phone. So just wanted to see here how these two did compare. I think you can see we do have slightly different in terms of the colors here, with the HTC coming in silver, gold, or like another one. And we do have like I think gold or grey with the OnePlus 3T. I think we can have a look at the performance here starting off. We have got the HTC on the performance mode, and I think we're due for Android Nugget on the HTC, but it's not come through yet, so we are still waiting for it. And the OnePlus 3T runs the latest Oxygen OS, which has some nice UI. It also comes with slightly more up-to-date processor, which I have noticed runs very cool in comparison to the HTC, which does heat up a little bit when using the phone. But the HTC has a lot of advantages, which we will discuss. Primarily the boom sound speaker, which as you can see just completely shut me down. But the OnePlus 3T does start up very fast here, and maybe it will keep up in terms of the performance. Whoops. So let's just show you the performance mode here. Where are we? You can see in here you can set that. So let's check out the apps opening starting off. See if HTC can keep up. And so far it looks like the OnePlus is going ahead straight away. I'm really surprised how good the Snapdragon 821 is. It seems like a worthy successor to a pretty average processor, if you ask me. You can see the Oxygen OS seems to be very optimized in comparison to Sense. Sense is actually quite optimized, but it doesn't feel quite as snappy here. And I'm looking for something, I can't find it. There we go. So you can see I think OnePlus is slightly ahead here with the camera, but I think the HTC camera is much better in terms of the performance and the software. We're just going to have a look at some games. EA Sports. So which one's going to load first? I think yes. So you can see OnePlus loaded before I even had a chance to finish then what I was saying. I mean, it's just no contest really, There was a time when HTC was like the fastest when it came to processor, but all we really get nowadays from HTC is worse versions of their previous phones. Like I think they released the HTC 10 again recently under a different name with a worse processor and a bit of waterproofing. Really what we wanted to see was like a HTC 10 Max or something with Snapdragon 821, the whole shebang basically. Let's have a look at the Wi-Fi. Maybe that could be something here that is better. So we'll go with the HTC first. Yeah, so HTC never lets you down when it comes to the download. Very good antenna and aerials in there, I have found. And let's see what the 3T can do tonight. You see, it's not in my head. You know, I really do think the OnePlus does cheap out when it comes to the Wi-Fi. So you can see this is one area where HTC has a clear advantage in terms of the Wi-Fi speed, which is nice. So how does that translate into day-to-day performance? We're going to have a look here. So let's just open up a web page such as Daily Mail and go. So it doesn't seem to be benefiting the HTC. I mean, that was a much faster load on the OnePlus. So let's just scroll down to a link, if we can find one. Yeah. So that's really bizarre how the actual Wi-Fi isn't that fast, but the performance is very good. Phone Arena. Again, I'm seeing the OnePlus here. So I'm going to give that to the OnePlus when it comes to the browsing. How does the multitasking compare? That is another thing here. So we're getting 4 gigs in the HTC, and you can see if it can hold some things in memory. And so far it seems to be doing very well. I think HTC's had the stronger multitasking here this year compared to some others. So the basic apps all hold in memory. Let's have a look at the game. Yeah, both of them hold in. Well, the OnePlus was a bit quicker there. Now, whether that could be down to animation, you know, that is up to you to decide. Camera seems to be very nice and fast on both of them. Whoops. So you can see, you know, the performance looks very comparable here overall, and these two. Oh, reload, or did it just not finish loading? I can't remember. Either way, it doesn't seem to be at the same level as the OnePlus. I think when you start to open a lot of apps, that's when you're going to see difference. But nevertheless, I take my hat off at HTC when it comes to the multitasking. It seems to be very good. Overall then, you can see I think OnePlus 3T definitely will give you a performance boost here if you're coming from HTC. But the thing that I wanted to mention in terms of HTC 10 is that you are still getting you know, some big advantages here. You're getting obviously the 12 megapixel camera here. I think it's got a better aperture than the one in the OnePlus 3T, which is a very average affair if you ask me. This one, I'd say I'd rate it just behind the S7 Edge when it comes to the quality. It's absolutely fantastic. And also you are getting the dedicated DAC. I think it's 32-bit. So when you have some high-res like audio DAC, you can really enjoy that on the HTC. You don't get that on the OnePlus 3T, I don't think. It's also 5 inches, which, you know, some people might find the OnePlus 3T a bit cumbersome to use in one hand. It is a very nicely built device, but the HTC 10 does rest in the hand a lot easier because it's 5 inches, and some people will enjoy that. You're also getting a 2K display, which, you know, it's not a massive deal, but if you do look close, the icons on the HTC 10 do look a little bit sharper overall, and obviously Super LCD, I think Super LCD 3, is it, or 5 or 4, one of the two. It gives you fantastic color accuracy compared to OLED, which is a little bit garish, so that's something else to consider. Also boom sound, which is fantastic. It's not on the front anymore, which is a bit annoying, but you know, it's fantastic nevertheless. Universal fast charging on the HTC 10. You know, I have spoken about dash charging is fantastic, but you do need the specialized cable, whereas you can use any USB like 3.0 cable on the HTC 10. And finally, we do have obviously the optically image stabilized selfie cam, which blows away this one. This one does have a flash though, so that is quite nice. I think the battery longevity is going to be with you on the OnePlus 3T though. You know, I would have liked to have seen, as I said, a HTC 10 Max with a bigger battery maybe, but it'll get you through the day at the end of the day. So if you are looking at these two, it's a really tough choice if you ask me. You know, you're either going to go for the performance side of things, like in terms of the day-to-day apps opening, or the overall feature set, really. And if you've got, you know, a choice of getting these two at roughly the same price, I'd definitely consider the HTC 10 still. You know, for everything like the Wi-Fi, etc. But if you're looking for primarily performance and, you know, battery life, then maybe the OnePlus 3T is a better choice. So the choice is yours, and I will leave you with it. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.